So where to from here? As I said, I've got my cards down there. If anybody wants to just come and have a chat, if you share me or shout me a cup of coffee, I didn't go and have a chat with you over a coffee shop somewhere. But certainly I'm available if anybody wants to sit down and have a more serious conversation with me. That's not a problem. You can buy a copy of my book, which is down the back there, so. And if you like, I can even autograph it for you. And the other thing that I'm doing, if I may just take a moment just to share this with you, I sort of feel like, an hour and a half's just come and gone, and there's so much more that I'd like to share with you. So if you would like to do a little bit more work with this and really start to get down into some of the nitty-gritties of who you are and how you can best be in relationship, I am running a workshop. I think you've got the enrolment form in your sleeve. So I'll just go through this briefly for you. At the moment I'm designing one that's 2 days. It's coming up in April. Is that right? Someone got my... Is it April the 18th and 19th or something? So it's a day 1 and a day 2. Thank you. 18th and 19th of April. It's a day 1 and a day 2. Basically you have a choice as to whether or not you might want to do one or the other or both, and that's fine. So what we're basically doing on day 1 is looking at some of the terminology which you would actually find in the book. We're looking at life positions, which is where I stand in my own skin and what that actually means in terms of my relationships. We look at scripts, which is our blueprint, which is what's held down there in our subconscious mind, given to us initially by our parents. We talk about creating a vision. We hear a lot about goal setting and things like that. I think they're still important. That if we have a notion about who we want to be and work towards that, have a notion about what we want our relationships to be and work towards that, and have a notion about how we want our life to be and work towards that. But we need to be clear about what that is in the first instance. And then I do a healing session which uses hypnosis as a tool, and basically what we're doing there is doing some quiet work where we actually go introspectively and find the little kid and the decisions that we were making as little kids, and we heal our little kids in that context. It's a really nice sort of way of working. I also do this in my rooms as well, so I can do it one-on-one or we do it in a whole group, and either way is possible. And then on day 2 we look at what's really important to us about life, about relationships. We do a more intensive set of exercises around that personality profiling. We look at what are the old rules for relationships. So what is it that mum and dad taught you as a child about relationships and about life and about living and about love and all that stuff? And are those things still valuable to you, or do some of them need to be remodified into a new rule for relationship? And certainly, I now look at my family. I even look at myself and how I raise my kids, and I'm now looking at my kids and their relationships, and while some things have not changed, other things have. It's a new world, and it is time for a whole new set of rules for relationship, ones that were not necessarily the ones that our parents or grandparents, for that matter, applied. And if you're interested, that's the costing, and that's on your sheet as well. And if you want to know a little bit more about it, you're welcome to. If you are interested in taking this a little bit further, the workshop will be conducted here, by the way, probably in this room. And I only take a maximum of 10 people. I only want to work small group, so we'll have a maximum on it. So there are your prices if anyone's interested, or if you want to come and chat with me, you're welcome to do that too. Okay. And all I ask is, before you go today, if you can just take a moment to complete that feedback form, because that helps me so that every time I come to present this seminar, then I can hopefully just do it a little bit better. And my thanks to all of you for being here and sharing your time with me.